The key fob burned in my pocket like a guilty secret. Its weight heavier than the sleek Audi R8 it unlocked. Parked in the driveway under the harsh glare of the noon sun. My name's Lucas Kane, a mechanic who'd spent 3 years piecing together that car from a totaled wreck. Every bolt a testament to my sweat and dreams. The engine purred like a contented panther, a sound I could feel in my bones. But now, Karen Walsh-Queen of the HOA, terror of Willow Creek, was striding toward it, her heels clicking like a countdown to chaos. "That car's an eyesore," she'd declared at last week's meeting, her voice sharp enough to slice through the room's murmurs. "It doesn't belong in our community." I'd laughed it off then, thinking she was just another busybody with too much time and too little sense. I was wrong, dead wrong, because now, she was gripping my key fob, stolen from my mailbox, and yelling to the cul-de-sac, "This car is mine now." The air smelled of fresh-cut grass and her overpowering lavender perfume, a scent that clung to the back of my throat like regret. My fists clenched as neighbors peeked through blinds, their whispers buzzing like static. Karen, in her pristine white blazer and sunglasses perched like a crown, slid into the driver's seat. The engine roared to life, a betrayal that hit like a punch to the gut. I sprinted toward her, heart hammering, shouting, "Karen, get out. That's my car." She didn't even glance my way, just floored it, tires screeching as the R8 tore down the street, leaving a trail of exhaust and my dignity in the dust. I stood there, breath ragged, the world tilting under my feet. This wasn't just about a car. It was my life's work. My proof I wasn't the screw-up my old man always said I was. Karen didn't just steal my keys, she stole my redemption. I could still hear the R8's growl fading into the distance, like a song I'd never finish. My phone buzzed in my pocket. A text from my buddy Marcus. "Dude, she's posting on the HOA page. Says she's repossessing it for community standards." I wanted to scream, to smash something, but instead, I exhaled a shaky breath and started walking. I wasn't letting her win. Not today. Not ever. The Willow Creek HOA office was a sterile box of fluorescent lights and fake ferns. The kind of place that made you feel guilty just for breathing. Karen's desk loomed at the back, piled with complaint forms and a coffee mug that read, "Rules make us free." She wasn't there, but her assistant, Tina, was a mousy woman with nervous eyes who flinched when I leaned over the counter. "Where's Karen?" I asked, voice low, barely containing the storm inside me. Tina stammered. "She's with the car. Said it's for an HOA fundraiser." Fundraiser. My blood boiled. That was my car, not some raffle prize. I stormed out, ignoring Tina's squeak of protest, and headed to the community center where Karen loved to hold court. The center was alive with chatter and the clink of wine glasses, a sea of khakis and pastel polos. Balloons bobbed in the corners, and a banner screamed Willow Creek Charity Drive, in tacky gold letters. There, in the parking lot, was my R8, gleaming under string lights like a trophy. Karen stood beside it, her laugh grating like nails on a chalkboard, telling a cluster of neighbors, "Oh, this beauty's going to fund our new gazebo." My vision tunneled. I pushed through the crowd, the air thick with cologne and lies, until I was close enough to smell the wax on my car's hood. "Karen," I said, loud enough to hush the crowd, "you stole my car." Her smile didn't waver, but her eyes glinted like a snake's. "Lucas, darling, this car was abandoned. I'm doing the community a favor." Abandoned. I parked it in my driveway every night, polished it like a prayer. The crowd murmured, some nodding like she was Mother Teresa in heels. My chest tightened, a scream clawing at my throat. But then I saw him, Old Man Jenkins, the neighborhood's quiet recluse, leaning on his cane by the punch table. He'd always been kind to me, slipping me extra tomatoes from his garden when I was a kid. His eyes met mine, and he gave a small nod, like he knew something I didn't. "Karen," I said, forcing calm. You took my keys from my mailbox. That's theft. Her laugh was sharp, a blade slicing through the tension. Prove it, she said, tossing her hair. No one's going to believe a grease monkey over me. The crowd's murmurs grew louder, and I felt the weight of their judgment, heavy as the humid air. But Jenkins shuffled forward, his cane tapping a slow rhythm. I saw her, he said, voice gravelly but firm. Last night, sneaking around Lucas's mailbox. Got it on my security cam. The crowd gasped, a collective intake of breath that shifted the air. Karen's face froze, her smile cracking like cheap porcelain. I seized the moment, pulling out my phone to call the cops. Karen's eyes widened, and she lunged for the R8's door. But Jenkins blocked her path, his cane a surprising barrier. You ain't going nowhere, he said. And for an old guy, he had steel in his voice. The crowd parted as sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder, closer, until red and blue lights bathed the parking lot in a surreal glow. Karen's bravado crumbled. She stammered, "This is a misunderstanding." But the officer cuffing her wasn't buying it. The R8's keys were back in my hand, cold and familiar, but the victory felt hollow. I'd won, but the neighborhood's eyes still lingered, some with pity, others with doubt. As the cop car pulled away, Karen's shouts echoing through the open window, I leaned against the R8, its metal warm from the evening sun. Jenkins clapped a hand on my shoulder. You did good, kid, he said, his voice soft like the rustle of leaves. I nodded, throat tight, the weight of the last hour sinking in. The crowd dispersed, their whispers fading into the cricket-chirping night. I slid into the driver's seat, the leather creaking under me, and turned the key. The engine roared, a sound that felt like coming home. But as I drove past Karen's house, her perfect lawn and rules make us free sign mocking me, I realized this wasn't just about a car. It was about standing up, about proving I wasn't invisible. The next morning, the HOA page exploded with posts, neighbors apologizing, others demanding Karen's resignation. By noon, she was gone. Her reign over Willow Creek ended in a flurry of screenshots and Jenkins's grainy security footage. I parked the R8 in my driveway, its chrome glinting like a middle finger to her legacy. The air smelled of freedom, of oil and metal and second chances. I sighed, long and slow, letting the tension bleed out. This car wasn't just mine, it was proof that sometimes the little guy wins. And as I polished its hood, the sun warm on my back, I knew I'd never let anyone steal my fight again.